All right, we'll get started. First of all, thank you everybody for coming. This is an awesome turnout. This should be a really fun class or exercise. We've got some good stuff for you, I hope, today. There's going to be about 4 or 5 of us talking and kind of different ideas. The great thing about real estate, and this is, everybody here is not in real estate. Let me back up a little bit. Who here is not in real estate? Okay, which is cool, because lead generation is a business thing. It's not necessarily a real estate thing. So we can utilize lead generation skills in any type of business. That's the great thing about real estate and business itself is everybody does business the way they do business. Some people do business through the internet. Some people do business through, like in real estate, they might do get their business from something like an open house or just relationships in general. So you're going to see a lot of different ways that people get their business, and I think the important thing for everybody here is to not try and do everything. You know, a lot of people try to do all of it, and then they get overwhelmed and they fail. So pick the things that you think you'll be good at. Pick the things that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about one of these things, you have a huge advantage because it's not work to you. Okay?
Just getting back to what he just said, this is a book called 101 Ideas of How to Lead Generate. And what we're trying to help you do is get 3 so that you can kind of keep your pipeline full. So this is the philosophy that the author here, Gene Frederickson, talks about, and he wrote this little book. Some of us at our EXP convention went to his class. And it was about finding things that make sense to you. Not everybody can do cold calls. Not everybody can even do open houses. So find 3 things that make sense for you. And so that's when it dawned on us, hey, let's have a workshop about, and sample out there different things that are happening you do. But 3 should be your focus so that your pipeline is always full and doesn't have gaps, because otherwise that's exactly how your income is.
On that note, to piggyback on what Kathy said, you know, we don't want to try and do everything, but at the same time, I think it's important to have a couple of different pots boiling. So you might have something that you're very passionate about, or you're very good at, or you think you'll be good at, but you should also try and do a couple of other things so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. So it's very important to not just try one thing and say, hey, that's not working, and then you get discouraged and you don't know what to do. Anybody that knows me, my passion is more of digital media and social media and internet, and that's how I started in real estate in 2006. In 2006, the internet was still a baby. It's still a baby now in the big picture, but when people said, oh, I'm on the internet, that they would say, oh, I have a website. You know, I paid for a website. I'm on the internet. Well, a website is not any good, and it's still not any good to this day if people don't visit it. And so it's important to have good content on there. And what I like to say is the 3 C's is continued creative content. I think that's extremely important if you're going to take this path. And I think the digital media path is vital. I think it's always one of the paths that you should have, one of the pots you should have boiling. Whether you're good at it or not, everything that I've learned is self-taught. One, because I'm passionate about it, but I think if you give yourself enough time and effort, you can figure anything out. Elizabeth is here from Agent Experts, and she is an awesome source with social media and digital media for your business. And she'll teach you things. She's not going to just take your business and do it. She'll do a lot of that for you, but she'll also teach you how to do it. So continue creative content. Be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to keep your audience. If you have creative, consistent content, people are going to say, that's very interesting. I always love what he or she posts. And it doesn't always have to be about your business. In fact, it shouldn't be. You have to humanize yourself. And that's the great thing about social media is you want to be social. Remember that word, social media. Social is in that word. So social means two-way. If you can get in front of someone with something that's funny or interesting, they're going to know you and like you, and you'll basically almost build a relationship. I mean, how many times have you met someone in person for the first time and you feel like you know them already? Because you know all about their family and their new puppy and their, everything. So it's really easy to identify and try and be social on social media. I'll get right into the business part of it. When I built my business, I started, like I said before, in 2006, there wasn't a lot of information on the internet, especially micro information, which is local. So I started getting in my car. I was brand new at real estate. I had no business. So I took my digital camera and I would just go get lost. And I learned the market. So I gained market knowledge by knowing where all these neighborhoods were and where all these things were being built. I took a bunch of pictures, and then I would come home at night, and while I was there, I'd take a couple notes and I'd blog. So I would write about different neighborhoods and different towns and different things that were being built, and people that were driving through those neighborhoods looking for houses. They would get home and they'd be like, I'm going to use this neat internet thing, and they would type in Golden Ridge in Mooresville, and there my post would be. And at the bottom, I went to my website and I would punch in Walden Ridge, Mooresville. It would show all the listings that were in there on the IDX. I'd go to the top, I'd copy that address, and I'd put that at the bottom of my post. And I'd say, to see the homes for sale in Walden Ridge, click here. I went there, I took some pictures, that got them interested because it's visual. I wrote a couple quick things about the neighborhood, price range, size of the lots, basic price point, and then put that at the bottom. I ranked because it was micro, because it's so small, they're looking for that one thing. And then I got a lead, several leads just from that. So that's a little bit more difficult these days because the internet is a lot busier. But that is content, and you don't have to necessarily be found by someone on a search engine, Googling it. You can use that content, so when you get an internet lead from somewhere else, even if you paid for it, and someone says, hey, I'm looking for large lots in Mooresville, and I want to stay in the 500 range, you're like, I did that post 2 years ago on Walden Ridge. Go in your website, pull that up, send it to them. That's content that no one else is sending them. You just stood out. So you have to think of where you're storing your content, and of course a website is a great place to store it. A lot of the real estate websites, I know EXP offers Conversion or Commissions Inc. They're two of the three best CRMs out there in my opinion, and they have a blog piece to it, or you can create a custom page if you're a little more advanced. And not to get too into EXP or anything, it's more of Conversion and Commissions Inc. They actually have tutorials on how to do all of that. So if you're like, I don't know how to put a blog post in this, they'll show you exactly how to do it with a video. And then once you have that content, you can take that content and go to one of your social media pages. You can write a quick little write-up on it, put some hashtags. Remember, hashtags are ways that people are searching up here. So if you put in hashtag Lake Norman Real Estate, it's going to show all the most recent content that has that hashtag in it. And you can see I have all different things that people might search for that relate to that particular post. So what I did here is I just put all the brief information in here, and I said, see Robbins Park up close, and then I put a link in there, and then of course there's a video for visual. Because video is the king, because we all know when we're scrolling and something starts moving, we stop. So it's important to have video, and it doesn't have to be a big crazy video. It could be you standing at Robbins Park and saying, hey, you can see Robbins Park behind me. The houses are 550 to 700. It's right in the middle of Cornelius. They got a playground, they got tennis, they got this, they got that. And you've just gotten their attention. They're gonna see, I want to see more. So they're gonna click on the link. and it goes right to Robbins Park on our website. It has a little write-up. There's only one house in there for sale right now. And we've got multiple videos. It's got a map. And I think this is important too. Keep your audience. You know, these are all links to things that we've created, other content. So don't send them somewhere else. How many times have I seen you finally got this person on your website and then you put a link to Cornelius Town Hall on there and you just sent them away from your website. Bye. They're gone.
Yeah.
Because when they go on that site, now they're interested in something else. And there might be an ad on the side and then you lost them. So keep them. So the more continued creative content that you have, the better you're going to do. And remember, you're housing this information on a website or on a social media platform, and you can always go back to it with the clients that you're working with, whether it's locally or an internet lead. 2 years from now, you know, we have tons of content that we use that we've created over the years that allows us to stand out above and beyond the 4 other sites and agent sites that people sign on to, because we have the content to continually distribute to these people. Bottom line is become an expert in an area or a location or something that's going on. Some ideas I wrote: videos, photos, write-ups, long versions, short versions, write about neighborhoods, towns, new developments, city planning, things to do. There's 2 types of things that you're going to post. One might be branding, one might be marketing. They're different. Branding is more of an identity. It's like, hey, I'm the expert, we're continually out here, you can come to us. Marketing is more promotion. So, and then if you're promoting, not to get too long-winded, but promotion, you have to give people reasons why this is a good thing. Don't just shove it down their throat and say it's the best. Say, you will like this because of this, 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 and this. We like this. You should too. You have to create a story, tell a story about it, and you'll win. If you watch the younger generation, they don't watch TV.
Right.
They watch YouTube. They sit there and they watch. So that is the future of all our industries. They're going to just go to YouTube and watch a video. So if you can get ahead of the game in any of these things, whether it's video or searching with hashtags.
I wanted to add a few pieces to that. And another little quick way to get some content, this is a little mic that you can plug into the bottom of your phone so that you can, let's say, want to interview somebody. You want to interview them and talk to them about whatever, like B&I, for example. I'm a member of B&I, and I have different people that I'll do a one-on-one with where I want to get to know that person at a better level. And I'd like to help promote them as well, right? So if I talk to them at our meeting and say, hey, we're going to do a quick little video, because videos shouldn't be long. People are getting bored within about a minute, it seems like today.
The bottom line is you have to keep their attention.
Yes.
You could do a 3-hour video if you
Yes.
can keep their attention.
But make it short. And so
But I bet you couldn't.
So we can pre-plan it, and while we're in our one-to-one, and we could say, you know, for your business, what would you like to say most? That's what sets you apart? You know, unique questions that, and you're interviewing them, and this because you've got this mic on them, it's just better clarity. So now you can give that video to them that they can put on their Facebook page for content. Now you've got it for content. You tag them in there. You ask them to tag you. It's just a great way. This is cheap as it can be, and it gives much better clarity and just short little videos. And it's also a way to build strength of who you're talking to that you're doing your little meetings with, right?
If everybody helped everybody in business,
Yes.
we wouldn't need to advertise and pay for it. So do business with the people that do business with you, and just try and create relationships. And that's a good lead into selling.